Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Brave Kids Art Club. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I am so excited to draw with you guys today. Today we're going to be drawing a pirate ship. And I love everything pirate. I love pirate movies, I love pirate books, and I absolutely love pirate ships. So we're going to learn a little bit about them as we draw them. But first we need to make sure we have all of our drawing tools, so let's check that out before we get started. Alright, make sure you have a nice clean sheet of paper out. You're going to need a pencil as well, but for what? That's right, for sketching. We gotta do our sketch first. We wanna make sure that we can fit it all on the page and we get all of our mistakes out early. So we'll use a pencil for that, because after we're done and confident with our pencil sketch, then we're gonna use a dark marker or pen and go over that as our final line. And then we'll use our eraser just to erase all the stuff underneath it so that it goes away. So we have a nice clean area to color in with our colors. So I have markers, but you might have colored pencils, crayons, paint, whatever else you want to use, that's perfectly fine. But we're gonna have a lot of fun with the colors here, especially with like the sails. I think the sails will be fun here on our pirate ship. So, all right, so let's go right into our sketch. Now we want to make sure that this ship has a lot of points. It's pretty wide, it's pretty tall, so we want to make sure it all can fit in this page. So maybe let's start with kind of setting where our water's going to be. Let's make the water. Now we're not going to draw the waves quite yet. Let's just draw a little line saying this is going to be where the water's going to be. So just draw a straight line there, nice and soft. Don't press too hard on it because it gets hard to erase. Hopefully you can see it there. But then we're going to use that just as our boundary for the bottom. You don't see it, but a lot of the ship is actually underwater and they go really deep under the water. So we're not going to show the whole bottom of the ship. We're just going to kind of show a little bit of the front and the back here. So I'm going to draw the front of the boat, which extra credit to anyone who knows what the front of the boat is called. Do you know what it is? That's right, it's called the bow. And the back of the boat, do you know what that's called? We're going to draw a little straight line for the back of the boat. That's called the stern. So the back of the boat is the stern, the front is the bow. And we're going to do something else right here. We're going to draw a little extra line that pops right out over here, and then we're going to continue our line at that same angle. This one right here, we're just going to continue it on up. And I'll explain why in a second. You'll see why. Okay, now that might be a little high, but we can adjust as we go. The next thing we need to do is kind of figure out where the main deck of our boat is, or our ship is. So let's do kind of a line right around here. All right, so we have our main deck here, and now we're gonna draw two more decks. The one on the stern or the back of the boat is called the quarter deck. Actually, if you go really far back, it's called the poop deck, but we're gonna draw the quarter deck. And we're gonna just do a little curve right here, like this. There we go. And then on the front of the boat, we're gonna have another deck, and it's called the forecastle. This little area right up here on the front is the forecastle. All right, there we go. Oh, wait, we need to draw the back deck over here. This quarter deck back here. Right over there. Now, right underneath this quarter deck is typically where the captain's quarters is, or the captain's room is. And so that's what this little spot was that we jutted out on the side here, was for the captain's quarters. We're gonna have this be a little separate part right here. There we go. Just so it'll have its own big room with lots of big windows in the back that can see out. So the captain gets obviously the best room, and then the rest of the pirates or the sailors, they actually have to sleep all really squished together in a really gross area underneath the boat. Not very fun. You want to be a captain. If I was a pirate, I would want to be a captain. Now we're going to draw this little point on the front of their ship called a bowsprit. Bowsprit? I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. But we're going to call it a bowsprit right here. And that's what this little long thing is out here. And this thing is there so it's actually going to connect to hold up and help hold up some of these masts and sails that we're going to go over right now. We'll explain what those are. So there's lots of different types of ships. Now, pirate ships just meant that they were ships that pirates used. And these pirate ships, they're actually just stolen. They're just normal ships that they stole. And they really like to steal the fast ones, like the sloops, the brigantines, and the schooners. They love those fast ships, not only because they could go catch other ships, but they could also run away from other ships too. So That's basically what a pirate ship is. It's a normal ship, but they've actually did strengthen the sides of them. So they'd have to have somebody, one of the pirates on there had to be a master carpenter. They had to be able to fix up these boats to make them be exactly what they wanted. Probably more room inside for weapons and for sleeping a lot more people, but also making them stronger on the sides so that cannonballs couldn't go right through them. So anyway, I thought that was very interesting. They're just stolen boats that they altered. So now let's draw the masts. Those are the big wooden poles that come out of the middle of our ship. Now we're going to draw 2 on this one, which is typical of a brigantine type ship. So if you really are interested in ships, brigantine's the type of ship with the 2 masts that we're going to be drawing today. Okay, so let's draw those masts because we need to see how high up they're going to go. Hopefully they fit on the page. We're going to draw a line straight down here. We're going to draw one over here. And then we're going to draw another one over here. I just want to kind of get how high they're going to be. We'll draw one right over here. And they don't have to be perfectly straight for this drawing. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another line next to it, and it's going to get a little bit bigger on the bottom. It's called tapered, just a little bit bigger on the bottom. Maybe even a little bit thicker. There we go. Okay, something like that. I think that'll look good. And let's do the same thing over here. We're going to make it, we're going to draw a little line at the top, and we're going to have it go, get a little bit bigger as it gets to the bottom. Perfect. So the next thing we're going to draw are the sails. Now the sails are like the big fabric sheets they look like that catch the wind and help propel the boat forward. They push it forward. So now a lot of the boats have lots of sails, lots and lots of sails. We're just going to draw a couple of sails just to make it easier on ourselves, but just know a lot of them have a lot of sails. So I'm going to draw a little line right over here for this one. I'm going to draw another one over here for this sail. Perfect. Okay, and then we're going to draw the bottom. It's nice to draw the bottom of where that sail is going to end. I'm going to say this one's going to end right here, and this one's going to end right around there. Oh, because on here I'm going to add a little extra element, just so you know, so you have the room. I'm going to draw a little railing on the top of my ship, like that. Boop. And you can do whatever little details that you want to add to your pirate ship, that's fine. Because a lot of them even have like a little figure on the front, maybe like a little mermaid or something hanging off the front, the little figurehead. And you can add whatever you want. Maybe it's a unicorn or something fun. So you can draw that if you'd like. Any other details you can add to your pirate ship. Alrighty, so now we're gonna say, we're gonna have the wind catching these sails and pushing the boat forward. So we're gonna do a curve right here on both sides of that. This one as well. I'm gonna curve it and draw another curve right over here. Starting to look like a pirate ship. Well, I guess it's starting to look like a ship, and it will look like a pirate ship here in a second. We're going to add a few details once we get the main ship here. This is looking pretty good. It's starting to look like a ship at least. So now let's do another little line right here. Boop, boop. And maybe a little circle on the top, like that. And we're going to draw two different triangles. We're going to draw a triangle this way, and a triangle right there. So we've got little flags on the top. And the reason why they're going this way is because it looks like the wind's catching the sails that way, so it's going to push it off the page this way. So it looks like the flag's going to be flying backwards. And then we're going to add, maybe on here, this is usually a big wooden beam here to hold that mast on. Or sorry, to hold that sail on. So I'll put a line right there. And then right over here, I'm actually going to add a crow's nest. What is a crow's nest? Not a bird's nest, but that's probably where it got its name because it kind of looks like it. It's like a bird's nest. It's a little thing that you can get really high up there. It's a little spot for someone to go stand up in, and they can look out and see really, really far out. So maybe they'll have their telescope out there looking to see what's ahead. And maybe we'll add a few little lines on there. There we go. So we got the crow's nest over there. We got our main masts, which are the poles, the sails. And how do they, so they actually have to get up to those because they need to sometimes fix the sails, or they need to get up in the crow's nest to look out. And so they have stuff called rigging and these ropes that they can climb up. Like maybe you've seen them at the, like at a playground, especially outdoor playgrounds at the park. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're just gonna draw one starting maybe from here. We don't have to draw one for every single one just because it'll get a little bit busy. And I don't think we don't need to show that many of them. Otherwise it'll get really, really busy. So we're gonna draw a few little lines right here, like this, coming down. And then we're just gonna draw some lines going across. There we go. And if you really want, you can have them, they usually actually attach to the side of the boat. You can draw little circles here. There we go. So now they can climb up that and fix the sails or take the sails down or whatever they need to do up there. But they'll have a few of those they'll have one for each mast that you can climb up. Okay, I wanted to add a little detail here. One more railings over here. I don't want these pirates to fall off. You know, pirates are all about safety. Yeah, right. Alrighty, so we got that. What else are we missing? Well, let's see. Let's draw maybe the windows on the back here for our captain's quarters. Again, quarters is just room. All right, so we'll go like that. There you go, like a little dome shape. And they can be whatever you want. Maybe the whole thing is all windows. And then we're gonna do maybe a little detail like this. Maybe just showing that it's holding on. Maybe there's some beams that are holding that part of the room onto the side of the ship. And then we also, well, this wouldn't be a pirate ship if it didn't have any cannons. So it needs to have those cannons underneath there. So we're gonna draw those. We're just gonna draw a circle right here. Maybe right here. And you could draw a lot. Sometimes they had multiple rows of cannons. So underneath here, you'd have people forcing the cannonball in there and then shooting it out the sides of the boats. And that's why they had to reinforce the sides of the boat to make them really, really strong. So I'm gonna put maybe, that's probably about good. So four different cannons on the side of mine. You can add more if you want. Or you could even have the cannons sticking out maybe. That'd be kind of fun. You have this cannon sticking out of the boat. You could do that, whatever you want to do. I'm probably not gonna do that for my final, but this is where you're gonna use your imagination. Maybe even add some pirates on there. That'd be kind of fun. Or a big squid coming out and attacking the boat. That'd be cool too. All right, but the other thing we're missing on this is when they come to shore, they also need to park their boats. So instead of having a parking brake like on your car, they just throw out this giant anchor that comes off the side of the boat. It's really heavy and it holds onto the bottom of kind of catches onto rocks at the bottom of the ocean and keeps it from sailing away when they go onto shore. So we're gonna have a little hole for it to come out of, and then we're gonna draw the top of our anchor. We'll draw a little line down like that. And we're gonna draw a little U shape. And then a little cross like a T, like that. Maybe that'll go right there too. And then we'll draw like little triangles on the end. There we go. So now we can draw little circles on here too. Awesome. Okay, so now we have our anchor on the side hanging off. We got our cannons. We have our netting to climb up to the crow's nest and the sails. I think maybe the only thing I want to do now is, I'm going to add a little detail as I'm talking. I'm going to add little details, I guess. I guess we might as well, while we're talking about it, we might as well do it. So let's do that. Let's add some little details. Take your time. You don't have to do what I'm doing. I'm going to make this look like it's wood. So I'm going to kind of go like this. And I think, let's see. How do I want to do this? I want to draw some straight lines across here so we can show the wood like that. Maybe go like this, and I'll erase this bit right here. There we go. It's got the wood siding on it, a really strong wood siding. And the last thing, I guess, or two things. We got to draw the waves. So I'm just going to go over what I already drew and just draw a bunch of U's. There we are. And then we need to do a little bit of erasing before we get to our final line work. We want to erase the mast here in the middle because those are going to be overlapping it, of course. There we go. Now you can decorate your sail however you want. Now I'm thinking the back one, I want to add maybe some stripes. That'd be fun. And we already put some flags up there, so that's some added color on there. But typically, so you see the skull and crossbones typically for pirates. That's what it's represented by that flag. We call it the Jolly Roger. But the Jolly Roger and pirate flags in general they all looked very, very different from each other. But some of them had the skull and crossbones, but the one thing that all of them had was, for the most part, was they were black. So most of the time they had black flags that they flew to show that they were the pirates. So you can either do just a black flag if you want. I'm gonna do the skull and crossbones. So if you wanna draw a skull and crossbones too, this is how I'm gonna do it. I draw with a little circle here, and then I kinda have a little line, a little box here at the bottom of it. Almost looks like a little mushroom, like that. And then I make sure it kinda all goes together. Then I erase the part in the middle, like this. And then what we'll do is we'll draw the eyes. So we'll draw maybe just a couple circles right there. Draw a little triangle in the middle if you want. And then we'll draw a little line with some little lines through it. So one horizontal line, some vertical lines cutting through it. And there you got a skull. And then we'll draw some bones. So we'll draw an X shape like this. Like that. And at the very end, we'll kind of have it look like a dog bone. There we go. Awesome. Now, that's really loose, and we'll just go around and just color in everything but the middle of that so that stands out. But now I think we're ready to go to our inking here to do our final outline. So take your time, go through. If you need to erase some things, that's totally fine. Just make sure you get all that done before you get to your final outline, because I'm using a Sharpie, so I cannot go back. Once I've made my line, it's there forever. So, all right, so I'm gonna keep going through here with my pen and outline the entire thing. When I'm done, I'm gonna go through and just erase all the pencil underneath it, so it's nice and clean for my coloring, which I'll do there at the very, very end. So if you need to slow down, you need to pause it or do anything like that to catch up, do that. Otherwise, just enjoy and have fun with making your pirate ship, and we'll meet up right at the very end when we're finished. So the last little detail is that flag, and we are done. Oh, this turned out so cool. Thank you guys for drawing with me. This was a whole lot of fun. There's a lot of little pieces on a ship. So if yours looks even more complex, because we're missing a lot of things still. Maybe there's ropes that are holding these masts up everywhere. There's probably more of these things to climb up on this one. You can add all sorts of details onto your ship, and I'm really excited to see what you guys created. So make sure that when you're done with it, have your parents take a photo of it, and they can upload it onto Instagram and just tag us at Brave Kids Art Club. That way I get a chance to see it, and you get to see your work maybe show up on this show at the very end of every episode. So, which also means stick around at the very end. There's gonna be some of your work that I get to show off. But that's it. And before I call it quits, I need to make sure that I sign my name on it, because I'm proud of what I made. So I'm gonna just do my name right down here, or my initials, and this is now officially complete. Thanks again. Make sure that you guys stick around for future videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and please, and if you like this video, please drop it a like. But remember, before you go, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. All right, we'll see you guys next time.